Hurry up and get yourself ready for church.
We're going to be late again because of you. Pastor Mac doesn't like when we're late.
My parents both screamed like we were somewhere being chased by tigers. What was so urgent or important about church anyway? I mean, I understood that it was important to some people, but there was something seriously wrong with our church. I put on my dress and ran down the stairs without bothering to comb my hair.
You look like a wet cat.
My mom continued screaming. God loves the animals. Leave me alone. Let's just go already. Later, we pulled up to our megachurch with its golden doors and diamond chandeliers.
We will start today's service with the offering. Remember that you will get 100 times the amount you receive, so give generously. The Lord loves a cheerful giver.
Before I continue my story, like this video and subscribe to the channel for 1 week of good luck. Please hit that notification bell too. Thanks! Now, where was I? Thankfully, I didn't have to go through that torture for much longer because Pastor Mac was involved in a huge scandal and my parents decided that we shouldn't go to that church anymore. I thought I was finally going to have a normal life. See, my parents spent most of their money on the church because they believed that it would cause blessings and more riches. One year, they even forgot to buy me a birthday present because Pastor Mac needed a new jet and they gave him their entire salary that month. I was so over them and this nonsense. So I was sitting on the couch with my iPad scrolling through Amazon and making a wish list of things I wanted that my parents would finally be able to afford for me. I was home alone because my mom and dad said they were going to the supermarket. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning. By 6 o'clock that night, they still hadn't returned, and they weren't answering their phones. I started getting worried. Had they been in a car accident? Struck by lightning? Kidnapped? I always jump to the worst case scenario. I mean, that's just me. Then the doors burst open and my mom and dad walked in smiling. But my mom was holding something, which seemed extremely weird. Mom! Dad! I was so worried! What is that weird thing you're holding in your hands, Mom? She walked to the couch and put it to stand in front of me. It was a pretty doll which was wearing a cute lavender dress. It had long red hair and brown eyes. It looked like any ordinary doll at the toy store, just a little bit prettier. I'm a little too old for those now, Mom. I'm in high school.
This isn't yours. This is a special doll. We have so much to tell you.
Where do we begin?
Started my dad.
We had just finished buying some cleaning supplies at the dollar store when a lovely young lady approached us and asked if we were interested in joining her religion. Well, since we'd already left ours, we figured, hey, why not give a new one a chance? So we followed her to a strange-looking temple and we walked inside to meet the leader. His name is Morgan, and he's awesome.
So, what is this new religion about then?
Well, I don't have all the details, but we had to buy this doll for $200. He said if we put it in our house, we will have lots of good luck, but we have to treat it well.
Dad? Dolls don't have feelings. My parents both gasped. Then my mom started giving me a lecture.
This particular doll is special. She's not an ordinary doll. She's special.
Okay, I said. At this point, it wasn't worth arguing with my parents. They'd totally lost it. I thought of putting myself up for adoption. Anyway, by the next week, my parents had constructed a whole altar for this doll in the middle of our house. They decorated it with fruits, jewelry, and fancy-looking stones and put her in the middle. Every time they passed the altar, they'd bow. After 2 more weeks, my dad came home one night with excitement in his voice.
The doll! It's real! It works!
What are you on about now, Dad?
I got a promotion!
Congratulations! That's wonderful!
My mom squealed. That night, they gave the doll her own seat at the dinner table and kept telling her how wonderful she was. But it got worse. My parents spent all of their money buying gifts for the doll, which they had now decided to name Shiny. They bought her a laptop, Nintendo Switch, tons of candy, and lots of clothes. Mom, Dad, it's a doll! How can it use a laptop or play video games? When was the last time you bought me anything?
We keep food in the fridge. That's enough.
Give me that candy! I screamed and snatched a pack of Skittles, my favorite.
Put that back. It's not yours. It belongs to Shiny. You're going to bring us bad luck.
I think you two need to take an IQ test and get some serious help. I screamed and slammed the door. I ate the Skittles so quickly I almost felt like I was going to choke on them. It got worse, you know. You're going to laugh at this next thing they did. After they'd gotten over the Skittles incident, and it actually took days, they told me that Morgan said that they could download a special app on their phone which would tell them what the doll wanted them to know. Mom, Dad, a doll is an inanimate object. It can't speak, especially through an app.
Do not doubt the great Morgan.
How much does this app cost?
$100 a month. It's a subscription.
What? But you haven't bought me anything in ages, and now you're going to spend all that money on a stupid app?
It's not stupid.
No, it's definitely not stupid. You're the stupid ones. I can't understand how I ended up with 2 stupid parents. I screamed and left the room. The next morning I woke up, and my parents were kneeling in front of the doll with their phones in their hands.
Okay, it says that we can ask it a question and then we can check the app for the answer.
My mom said.
Okay, honey, let's do this. Shiny, am I going to get another promotion next year, or should I leave my job?
They looked at their phones, then my mom sounded puzzled.
It says to transfer $200 into Morgan's account if we want the answer.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
After the transfer was done, the word yes appeared on the app. I rolled my eyes and walked to my room. I was feeling really sad, especially since I'd begged them for new clothes a week ago, and they told me they didn't have enough money. They had money, they were just spending it all on that doll. I had to do something. I began to brainstorm. I could set the doll on fire, but then they'd just buy a new one. I could lock them in their rooms until they came to their senses, but that would be too difficult. What could I do? Then it hit me. Obviously, something was wrong with this Morgan guy. He was definitely a scammer. I just had to find a way to prove it to them. Then they'd understand. They were just being swindled out of their money, and they'd start to spend it on me instead. I looked up Morgan's weird religion online and found the address of the temple. After school the next day, I snuck over there, but made sure that no one saw me. Nothing much happened. A few weird-looking couples just like my parents walked in and out with dolls. Many were walking, and I assumed they'd sold their cars just to give all their money to Morgan. I continued sneaking around the place for about a week until I got the evidence I needed. I saw Morgan. I knew it was him because his picture was on the website. There were some people inside adoring him, looking at him like he was some kind of savior. Then they left, and it was just me and him. Me behind the window where he couldn't see, of course. He picked up his phone and started to have a conversation. At the same time, I took mine out and started recording him.
People are so dumb, but that works to my benefit. I can't believe they bought this story about the doll and the app. I've made about $3 million so far. When we hit 10 mil, we're gonna leave for Tahiti, honey. I've already spotted the house I want to buy for us. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I just have to get these idiots to continue to give me more money. Do you have any more ideas? I can't wait for us to run away together. We'll be rich, filthy rich.
I'd recorded all I needed. I ran all the way home and entered my living room gasping. My parents were kneeling in front of the doll and putting necklaces around its neck. I rolled my eyes. Mom, Dad, I have something to show you. Morgan is a scammer. His religion isn't real. None of this is real. They looked puzzled, so I showed them my phone and played Morgan's recording.
I don't believe it.
My mom said.
Neither do I,
Echoed my dad.
Why did you try to frame such a good man? Such a wonderful man who has brought blessings to our family. You're grounded.
My mom screamed. Wouldn't you be confused? I think I was more than confused. I walked up to my room feeling defeated. How did 2 stupid people make such a smart person like me? Was I adopted? Well, it's time to consider Plan B then, I thought. I started a YouTube channel and uploaded the video I took of Morgan. Then I shared it to all my social media platforms, and I also posted it on Morgan's Facebook page. Within an hour, many people had seen it and reshared it. Morgan deleted it from his page, but many people had already saved it. It was spreading like wildfire, but mostly by people who were making fun of the organization. It was only a matter of time until...
Mary, you ungrateful little brat. What have you done?
My parents barged into my room. They were fuming. What? I smiled sweetly, pretending I had no idea what they were upset about.
Why did you release that fake video? This is going to ruin everything. He's going to lose followers.
My mom started crying. At this point, I really didn't know anymore. It was like the stupid fairy had hit them both on the head with a massive baseball bat. They left my room, and I thought that maybe I needed to get more proof so they'd believe me. It was a Friday night, but they worked on Saturdays. I decided that I would leave the house and return before they got back. Because I was grounded, remember? I was going to go to Morgan's temple to snoop around some more. The next day, I left home right after my parents. As I approached the temple, I noticed that my mom's car was parked outside. I walked through the door and looked around. There was no one inside, just a bunch of spooky-looking dolls all over the place. Ugh, I shuddered. Then I heard some muffled voices coming from what seemed like a little office in the back. I walked over there and looked inside. Then I nearly fainted. My mom was wrapped in Morgan's arms and they were kissing. I quickly took out my phone and began recording. I'd show my dad and we'd leave together and never look back. There was no way I could make this up, and I hoped it would be enough to convince my dad to leave this awful religion and my mom. I ran out of the building without saying anything. I went home and cried in my room until my dad came home. Dad, look! Now you definitely can't say I made this up. Look what Mom was doing while we were convinced she was at work. I put the phone in front of his face and let him watch his wife kiss another man. At that moment, my mom walked in.
What's going on?
We should be asking you that question. You're cheating on Dad with some religious freak. My parents exchanged glances and burst out laughing. Then they fell to the floor because they were laughing so much. What the hell are you guys laughing at?
Sweetie, you're too smart for us. But we're happy we made a smart girl. We're sorry to put you through this,
my mom said. What?
So here's the thing. We were tired of losing all of our money to religious leaders, so when this woman approached us at the dollar store, we thought this was the perfect opportunity to get it all back, and more. We decided that your mom would seduce Morgan to make him believe she'd help him with his scams. We got him to put all the money in our account for safekeeping, we said. He genuinely believes that your mom cares about him and that they're going to move to Tahiti to live the perfect life together.
So, the person he was talking to on the phone, when I recorded him, that was you, Mom?
Yes, it was.
They burst out laughing again. So why did you need to bring the doll here? Why did you buy all of that stuff?
Because watching your reactions was hilarious. We had so much fun.
I can't believe this.
Anyway, we've got a few million in our bank account now, and I suppose we should move before Morgan finds out anything.
Where are we going?
Well, Morgan already bought the house in Tahiti, but all of the legal documents are in my name. Come on, get packing.
It turns out that my parents weren't as stupid as I thought. I typed the story from my awesome bedroom with its huge windows and magnificent view of the sea. Since we now have lots of money, I get anything I ask my parents for. Our relationship has improved a lot. Oh, and that doll? I gave her to a little girl I met on the beach.